Okay. So one thing that I need to talk about, and that is when you're moving from I guess a junior developer to a mid to senior level developer, there are things that for some reason none of the YouTube software developers are telling people. And I don't know why. It's something that you need to know. And in their videos, if you notice, a lot of the networking manager and networking service classes that are created are done are done as a singleton, because obviously they want to demonstrate some very simple simple functionality, right? But the reality is in the real world, you can't use singleton patterns. You have to do and the reason why in the real world, well, I'll get to that. But no one is really talking about the other patterns for your networking manager. I noticed that. And it's a shame they really don't talk about it at your tech boot camps. So I'm going to talk about it. So when you create your networking service, and you've seen the networking service in some of the other tutorials, I did them as a singleton, right? So singleton is very common. Observer pattern, factory pattern, delegation pattern, and command pattern. I might not get to command pattern, but I'll probably definitely get to factory pattern. Okay. And another thing that we have to learn about is model view instantiation, because I only did it one way, right? And basically I created as a property of the view controller class, right? But there are other ways. You can instantiate in the view did load. You can use the factory method. You can use third-party dependency injection libraries. And I'm going to discuss what that means in more in depth. Okay. And I'm going to talk about this. Why is a network manager using a singleton considered not testable? That's one of the drawbacks of using a singleton. It's considered not testable. And here's the reason, right? Using singleton patterns for a network manager can make it difficult to test because singletons are global objects that are shared across the entire application. This means the state of a singleton can be modified by any part of the code base at any time, which can make it difficult to predict and control its behavior in a test environment. In addition, because singletons are global objects, it can be challenging to substitute a mock or test double for a singleton network manager during testing. This can make it difficult to isolate the network manager from external dependencies and test its behavior in isolation. For these reasons, it is generally considered good practice to avoid using singletons for components that need to be tested, such as a network manager. Instead, it is often recommended to use dependency injection to inject the network manager instance into a class that depend on it, so that a different instance can be used for testing purposes. This can help to make the code more testable and easier to maintain. Okay, so we're going to get back to this issue of network managers and making them testable. That is a big part of our unit test section. We're going to get back to that. But I just wanted to state this, okay, for the record, so that this is something you could always keep in mind. Because if you go and you do an interview with someone like Bank of America or Carvana or Wells Fargo or whatever, and they say demonstrate, we have this API call project for you. You come out and you do a singleton, they might not tell you off the bat, but you just failed it, right? They want to see chops. They want to see experience. They want to see that you understand the ramifications of using a singleton. And so that's it for that. On to the next.